Hello everybody, welcome back to the Maverick channel, and today we're going to talk about Game Jam. So what is that? If you're a programmer, if you're a developer, if you're a creative person, this is going to be awesome for you, especially if you don't know where to put your skills. You're going to learn a lot from this, and at the end of it all, there's massive prices in over $10,000 over this. It's crazy. So just stay tuned for the whole video, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So the thing we're going to talk about today is Game Jam in Decentraland. Guys, don't click away from this video. Let me just show you the pool prices before you click away. First place, 2 lands, 5,000 mana. That's over $10,000 given to the first place, and they're giving prices all the way to 11th place. Meta Game Hub prices. So he's the company this Decentraland is partnering with, and you can see their massive prices. So guys, not to get ahead of ourselves, those that do not know Decentraland, this is Decentraland. This is my character in Decentraland. You can buy your own custom names, you can buy your own custom wearables, you can sell them on the market, you can create them. There's a bunch of things. This is arguably one of the biggest, probably the biggest space in the cryptocurrency space. It has generated a lot of wealth for a lot of people because of the stuff that can be done here. A lot of publicity can be done in this space. You can advertise, and you can check out these pillars right here that pretty much take you to most of the events that are happening now. You can press E, you can press F, and you can scroll down and see some of the most popular events, guys. Decentraland is one of the biggest platforms, and that's why they're able, through the type of value they've created, they're able to create such things called Game Jam. So let us quickly go through this and see how you can benefit as a programmer, as a creative person from this, the learning process, the network effects you're going to create, the types of friendships you're going to generate along the way. I think that's invaluable, especially as we're trying to discover the new type of employment as we move forward. So the 2022 Decentraland Game Jam is here. After a long break, we are incredibly excited to share the news that Decentraland's Game Jam is coming back for 2022. Game Jam will run from May 17th to June 14th. So guys, you're still in this. Decentraland, this year the Decentraland Foundation is partnering with Meta Game Hub DAO, so Decentralized Autonomous Organization. The organization has created the DCL edit. That's a nice page where you can go to and actually edit stuff very easily on a software level. So you're seeing the graphical interface, but you're tapping into the stuff. So that's what they mean. But there's another builder in Decentraland, but that goes into other details that we're not covering today. So this tool simplifies your workflow when developing with the Decentraland Software Development Kit. So we're thrilled to include in this year's Game Jam. To encourage more creators to discover the tool, Meta Game Hub DAO will be offering their own set of rewards for entries created using DCL Edit. So guys, this is big. This reminds me kind of a Ready Player One, that movie. These kinds of prices are slowly tending towards those kinds of levels, and in the future, okay. And in the future, we're going to see even more massive, more meaningful prices as we move forward. So the objective, produce the most entertaining experience you can code for Decentraland's community using the various tools at your disposal. So entries will be judged based on an overall idea, game design, interactivity, creativity, and wow factor. So Decentraland prices, those that do not know, I think the price of mana, the native coin of the decentralized metaverse, I think is going for about $1 right now, give or take. We're in the bear market, so it's done really well. So first place, 2 lands, the cheapest land is going for about $4,000 around there, 4,000 something mana. So you're looking at almost $10,000. I mean, almost $15,000 pretty much in the first price for the first place. Second place, 1 land, 2,500 money, all the way to the 5th place. You also still will probably get real estate and 750 mana tokens. Guys, this is extremely big, and not to mention the fact that if this platform continues to grow massively, then this will be way more valuable in the future. These are the kinds of prices you're looking at as we're moving forward, as we're discovering the future of new employment. 6th to 10th place, all the way to 11th to 20th place, they're going to get up to 500 mana. So even the 20th person is going to get a massive price, a really massive price. So this is really bullish for the overall ecosystem and for these types of development. This is kind of, they're pushing this out there to allow growth of the ecosystem. So Meta Game Hub, the other partner they partnered with, first place $5,000 in their token, $4,000, and they're giving all the way to 20th position $250, which is not bad money, bad change to make. How to enter. Entering your game in the game jam is easy. You just have to fill out a quick form. Besides your contact info, the form will ask you for any game instructions or additional information you think is relevant to share for the judges to properly evaluate your game. So the way you will be asked to submit your game through the form is as one of the following options: a public link to your scene's code from GitHub, so you're a GitHub developer, GitLab, Dropbox, Bitbucket. Of course, if you're a developer, you know what these things are. This is where you store your code, you can share it. A link to your published scene in Decentraland if you already had land to build on, and a playable Heroku link. So guys, this event, you don't actually have to have land to participate. So of course, which is pretty cool, but this is in case you had deployed something I already had land, and they give you a link of where to enter, which of course, when you press enter, starts off with an area where you enter your email. Then of course you enter other details that are relevant to this competition. So the guidelines are as such: all entries must be submitted by June 14th, 11:55 p.m. UTC to be considered by the judges unless otherwise stated. Entries must be a Decentraland scene with a maximum size of a 4x4. Each scene is about 16 by 16 meters. So 4x4, you're combining two scenes and other two scenes together. So creating a 32 by 32. So the works in Decentraland without any blocking bugs. So it needs to be flawless. You don't need to own land or participate. So that's pretty cool. The foundation will deploy all winning game jam scenes to Decentraland to keep a level playing field. Scenes submitted to the game jam should have at least had a significant part of them developed during the competition when submitting your scenes. So you should clarify if you reused any prior work as part of the scene. So this is going to help with people that reuse meshes. It's going to really help with that to make sure there's proper legitimate evaluation of the entries. So all entries will need to be made open source so that their content is reusable by anyone in the Decentraland community. That's pretty amazing. This is going to lead to a cascading effect of exponential growth in the Decentraland ecosystem, because all these tools, all these clever tools, no wonder the prices are so big, they're going to be made available to other developers in this ecosystem for free. That's amazing. But we need to be able to share the code, images, and 3D models of your scene, but the Decentraland Foundation will not own the rights to your scene in any way. So your scenes need to be interactive. Interactivity can be modeled by having the player perform actions such as clicking, walking, and so on. So guys, you can read on to this. And if the scene connects to an external API or utilizes blockchain technology, although it's not mandatory, so you can implement these things, but it's not mandatory to pull data from outside. You can just work purely within the confines of Decentraland and the tools that are available to you, but you can add other stuff to make it extra juicy. So if your scene consists of a game with rules that aren't obvious, you should provide instructions either in world or in a context submission form. Judges will attempt to experience your scene as a user, and they won't read your code. If a scene relies on custom, so they have all these rules that they've stated here, very, very conclusive rules. I've left this playing for a bit, so I'm sure you'll be able to read all of them, and also put the links in the description if you want to check out this stuff, because I think it's extremely useful to build yourself, no matter how old you are, no matter what level of development you are, no matter what softwares you're using. If you're using art software, other kinds of creative softwares, there's a lot of things you can do with the potential of learning so much and building your engagement in this space, in building this new space that we're seeing, this new virtual space. And then they go on to provide these amazing helpful tools. For example, this one that they mentioned first, but also they teach you how to go deep into servers. So deep dive servers, deep dive part 1, hit an API. So you're going to learn a lot how this whole concept of getting into servers works. Even if you're new to this space, even if you're not planning to be a programmer or program, you're going to understand the process of this, what these people go through to create some of these things, and some of these useful links. You can actually see some of the scenes that can be manipulated. For example, this is a guest book scene. So if you have a scene in your game, guests come in, you want them to register, these available tools right here that you can use to implement some of these things, which makes life a little bit more easier and sort of takes the most basic required stuff out of the way, so that the creators can focus on that creative nature, what they actually want to create, and not on the simple tools that can be accessed freely. And as they provide this stuff freely in the future, then in other competitions, people won't have to focus on the scenes that have already been created, but rather they can build onto that to create, I think, to start to head towards that thing that people call, I guess, the future of virtual reality and metaverse. As these users start to implement some of these things, maybe you've enabled your scene to be VR compatible, or potentially when Decentraland becomes a VR compatible platform, your scene could be able to accommodate something like that, or something could build onto. Guys, the point I'm trying to make here is that this creates a tremendous amount of opportunity, especially people that are forward thinking, that are looking at this new brave future that's extremely confusing to everyone. I think this could be a nice foray into understanding what is happening in this space and what everyone is up to. Essentially, there's a lot of value that is being created, and there's a tremendous amount of value that's going to be created through such platforms that allow people to communicate with each other virtually beyond what we know with our devices. So guys, I hope you learned something. I'm going to put all the links of this in the video so that you can access them, and make sure to share some of the content that you've created out there, especially if you're going to choose to engage in this. All right guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.